1800 hours Pakistan Standard Time. Assalamu alaikum. This is Radio Pakistan. The news read by Aisha Nayab. First, the headline. Prime Minister says federal government has allocated an amount of 100 billion rupees in the public sector development. National Assembly was informed today that government has decided to levy super tax on affluent class to reduce budget deficit. President has stressed the need to remove obstacles in the way of women choosing diplomacy as a career. Pakistan has taken up the matter of Canadian parliamentarians' remarks about Pakistan military with the government of Canada, terming them baseless and unsubstantiated. United Nations has stressed the need to engage interim Taliban government in Afghanistan despite difficulties. The US Senate has passed the gun control bill with 65 to 33 votes. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif has announced the provision of 200 acres of land for establishment of a residential colony for the fishermen of Gwadar and distribution of 2,000 motorboat engines among them. Talking to local fishermen in Gwadar during his day-long visit to the city, he said the purpose of his second visit to Gwadar in a month is to have a direct interaction with the fishermen and get their feedback on issues concerning them. The Prime Minister said the federal government will take Balochistan government on board for consultations on development projects in the province. He said the federal government has allocated a massive amount of 100 billion rupees in the public sector development program for development of Balochistan. Shehbaz Sharif said the issues of water supply in Gwadar will be resolved on priority basis. He said funds have also been released for Gwadar University. Terming the four provinces as brothers, the Prime Minister emphasized the importance of sharing resources among them for a win-win situation for all. Finance Minister Miftah Ismail says the government has decided to levy super tax on affluent class to reduce budget deficit. Winding up discussion on the budget for the next fiscal year, he said the super tax will end reliance on foreign assistance and take the country towards economic sovereignty. The finance minister said individuals and companies earning 150 million rupees will have to pay 1% additional tax, 2% additional tax on 200 million rupees income, 3% on 250 million rupees income, and 4% additional tax on 300 million rupees income. He said this tax will be for a period of 1 year. Miftah Ismail said 13 high-earning sectors, including oil and gas, cigarettes, cement, and LNG terminals, have also been identified for imposition of 10% super tax on income of 300 million rupees. He clarified that this will be for 1 year time. President Dr. Arif Alvi has stressed the need to remove the obstacles in the way of women choosing diplomacy as a career and provide them a conducive working environment. He expressed these views in his message on the occasion of the first International Day of Women in Diplomacy, which was observed today. The President said it is essential to create enabling conditions for women to help them elevate to higher decision-making positions. Dr. Arif Alvi said he is happy to note that Pakistani women diplomats have been serving in various capacities from foreign ministers to foreign secretaries and at many ambassadorial positions in embassies abroad. Interior Minister Rana Sanaullah says that the government has decided to expedite action against the elements involved in illegal immigration and human trafficking from Pakistan to Turkey. He was talking to the outgoing Turkish ambassador Ehsan Mustafa Yurdukul, who paid a farewell call on him in Islamabad today. The Interior Minister said administrative and technical modalities have already been finalized in this regard, and FIA Nadra and Turkish Immigration Department are devising a joint strategy to tackle this issue. He said action against the human traffickers is imperative as these elements earn a bad name for their country. Rana Sanaullah said Turkey is Pakistan's best friend and brotherly Islamic country and has always helped us in hour of need. This is Radio Pakistan. Pakistan has taken up the matter of Canadian Parliament's remarks about Pakistani military with the Government of Canada, terming them baseless and unsubstantiated. This was stated by Foreign Office spokesperson Asim Iftikhar Ahmed while responding to questions during his weekly news briefing in Islamabad today. He said Pakistan takes serious exception to the remarks and maintains that freedom of speech entails responsibility. The spokesperson said Pakistan and Canada have multifaceted ties and we wish to deepen the same on the basis of mutual respect and trust. He said such incidents are not helpful in that context. To another question, the spokesperson said Pakistan has always stressed on resolution of all outstanding issues through result-oriented and meaningful dialogue, including the issue of Jammu and Kashmir with India. He said the onus is on India to create an environment conducive for dialogue. Minister of State for Foreign Affairs Hina Rabbani Kar leads Pakistan's delegation at the 26th Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting being held at Kigali, Rwanda today. The Minister of State will also hold bilateral meetings with several world leaders on the sidelines of the event. The leader of the 54 member countries of the Commonwealth will hold discussions on issues related to the youth, technology, innovation and various global challenges including climate change, post-COVID recovery and economic crisis. Hina Rabbani Kaur will present Pakistan's perspective on the issues at the plenary as well as other discussion fora during this important event. In Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, Indian troops and dreaded agencies have intensified the reign of terror by stepping up their cordon and search operations and house raids to suppress the Kashmiris' ongoing freedom movement. The residents of many areas of Srinagar told media that Indian forces personnel have made their life a living hell. In a statement in Srinagar, Jammu Kashmir Democratic Freedom Party, headed by illegally detained Shabir Ahmad Shah, expressed a serious concern over unabated killing of Kashmiri youth by Indian troops during fake encounters in the territory. At the United Nations, Pakistan has underscored the need of addressing Afghanistan's humanitarian and economic crisis. Speaking at the UN Security Council, Pakistan's permanent representative to UN, Munir Akram, warned that consequences would be massive human suffering, more Afghan refugees, revival of internal conflict, and an intensified threat from terrorist groups like Daesh if the crisis is not addressed. The UN Security Council examined the policies of the Taliban, who took control of that country in August last year. The Pakistani envoy said the primary objective must be to achieve peace and stability in Afghanistan. Munir Akram said Pakistan also looks forward to working with United Nations Assistance Mission in Afghanistan, which must address the impact of bilateral sanctions and help to unfreeze Afghanistan's assets. Rescue 1122 sent 3 ambulances along with doctors and technicians to Khost province of Afghanistan today to bring the seriously injured people of recent earthquake to Pakistan for treatment. Rescue 1122 has also set up a medical camp at Khost Airport where medical treatment is being provided to the injured. Meanwhile, Rescue 1122 provided medical aid to 8 injured brought to South Waziristan district from Afghanistan. Later, they were shifted to Sholam Hospital, Vana, for further treatment. The United Nations has stressed the need to engage the interim Taliban government in Afghanistan despite difficulties. This was stated by UN Secretary General's Deputy Special Representative and Officer in charge of US UN Assistance Mission in Afghanistan, Ramiz Al-Kabir, while speaking at the Security Council. Ramiz Al-Kabir emphasized that it is the only way forward for the sake of Afghan people as well as for regional and international security. The U.S. Senate has passed a gun control bill, the most significant firearms legislation in nearly 30 years. With a vote of 65 to 33 in the 100-member Senate, it still needs endorsement of lower house before being signed into law by President Joe Biden. And finally, the weather. Mainly hot and dry weather is expected in most parts of the country during the next 12 hours. This is the end of the news. For more news and analysis, log on to our website radio.gov.pk and also watch live video streaming of our bulletin on the link facebook.com/Radio Pakistan News.